I've got the top 3 ways to make your place more bookable on Airbnb. We've already talked about the algorithm. Now we're talking about when people are actually on your listing, how you are helping convert them into an actual customer. And if you stay to the end, I might even have a 4th and bonus way to help you get more bookings. We're going to do that right now on the Fearless Investor YouTube channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe. If you haven't already done that, let's go. All right, everyone, the top 3 ways to make your place more bookable, and I cannot wait to get started on this. Now, if you haven't already seen our algorithm video, make sure to go check that out. I talk about the top 5 ways to make sure you're clicking in the Airbnb algorithm to get more impressions. But now we're talking about a view. So what's the difference? Let's start there. An impression is when you show up on that first page, when you're searching, when someone is searching for basically the qualifications that you meet, and you show up on that first page, that's an impression. But when they actually click on you and go through your listing, now that's a view. So as soon as they've clicked on your listing, they're quote unquote in the buying mode and looking to actually book your place. But how are you able to convert them once they're actually on your page? I'm gonna actually show you some sample listings right now so you can see exactly what I'm looking for and what most guests are looking for as well. Now, I did a general search of Phoenix, and what came up is what we're looking at, basically the first, 20 properties right here. Now, these are all getting marked as an impression. This has to do with the algorithm, but what I'm about to show you has to do with the algorithm has already clicked. Now, someone is clicking on us, and now they are in decision-making mode. So the very first thing is, if you notice, one of my listings comes up. This is actually my listing, the very first one. And you're probably thinking, well, it's because you're logged into your account. Actually, I'm not. I'm logged into a different account. This is my Phoenix one, and I'm logged into my Fresno account. This one is showing up right away because we are clicking with the algorithm. We know how to click with the algorithm. Then I also clicked on this one, the walk to stadiums, private heated pool included. And then lastly, I clicked on one other, which is over here. Let's see, which other one did I talk? The designer oasis, which is this one right here. So I've clicked on those 3 listings. I'm going to show you the differences in each of them. Let's get started in the top 3 ways to make your place more bookable. Number 1, it's your top 5 photos. Now, as you learned in the algorithm video, the quality of your photos and also the number of photos which you have is very important. But now that I've clicked on this, I want to see the differences and the variety that this home has to offer. So this is a home hosted by Eric. Eric has done a phenomenal job with his top 5 photos. Why do I know that? Because we're seeing different locations and different variety in all 5 photos. The best photo is number 1. That's what caught our eye to click on it. Then our best 5 photos are after, or really a part of that first one, but the next best 4 photos are here off to the side. Now, I love Eric's because here we see the dining area, here we see the kitchen, here we see one of the bedrooms, and then here we see a real wide angled view of the living room, plus the dining, plus we see a TV in there. We might even see a kitchen from far away as well. So it's four or 5 different locations and different angles. And then we'll get into the order of things after that. But what I want to compare it to is this one by Doyle. Now, Doyle is not a super host. I'm sure Doyle is going to get to a super host eventually. This is no knock on Doyle. This is specifically what Doyle can do to improve. So, hey, if any of you know Doyle, send this to him. We are seeing 5 photos of the same area for Doyle. That's not good for the first 5 photos. Now, this first one, it's okay. I actually like this photo a little bit better for the top one because we see that there's a sitting area. We see some plants. We see a little bit of the house, whereas this one, it's just straight up it kind of looks like an empty pool. You know, I want to see a little bit more there. But then let's go into the rest of Doyle's photos here. So Doyle has a total of 21 photos, which is good. I would say 25 is a little bit better. But we don't even see the inside of the house until photo number 9. Okay. So and by the way, a putting green, that should absolutely be in the top 5 photos. So Doyle, I would say this photo should be number one. This photo right here should be number two. I don't want to see a close-up of a plant. That doesn't really help me to understand the experience that I'm going to get at your house. I would absolutely make these professional. We can tell they're not professional, but this photo is great. This photo is great. This one is really nice as well. You have a lot better options for your top 5 photos that show a variety. Currently, with just having the same location but 5 different angles, that doesn't give me enough of an experience. So I personally, as a guest, and what I feel like is I've sat in the shoes of most guests because I book Airbnbs, but I've also talked to a lot of guests. I believe that I would click on this to see the top 5 photos, and my attention span would be very, very short. I would see the same photo 5 times. I would think to myself, I'm probably going to be with a host that doesn't have the experience that I'm looking for, so I'm going to just move on. Now, Doyle, that's okay. You can change this. You can change the mindset of your guest or your potential booker by just changing those top 5 photos. Comparing that to Eric, this is phenomenal. Look at this. I mean, we've got the variety. Comparing that to ours, if I can click on it here, this is my listing. And we've got, again, 5 varieties. We've got the main pool, and it's kind of a drone shot because it's up and far away, which I really liked, and I've made that number 1. We've got then the kitchen, and then we've got a kind of dual shot of the living room and the back end of, or sorry, the dining room and the back end of the living room. We've got the pergola area of the outdoors because I didn't feel like it was very obvious that we saw it over here. So I wanted to show a close-up of it here along with the grill. And then I see a great updated bathroom. So these, and by the way, if we click on it, you'll notice that we have 50 photos. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. There's a lot to show here. I think 50 is kind of the end. I tried to get it down to exactly 50, but I think more than 50 becomes a little bit overkill. In fact, let's go over and see how many Eric has. Eric has a total of 47. So very similar. And his is it a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom? It's 5 bedrooms. Yeah. So there's a lot for Eric to show as well. So it makes sense. So Doyle, that's another thing. I'd probably add about at least another 10 photos, especially with you being a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Number 2 thing, when someone's ready to book, they're probably going to take a look at your cleaning fee. So let's just start with our place. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. And depending on the date that you book, it says $137 per night. It's not $137 per night. If we go over to, let's just call it the end of September, you'll see that it jumps up to $229 per night. We use dynamic pricing. If you have any questions about that, down in the description is a link to Price Labs. You get a free 30-day trial. I would absolutely jump on that. That's what we use. But you'll see that the cleaning fee ends up popping up. Now, the service fee is Airbnb, and then the occupancy and taxes is being collected by Airbnb and paid to the city. So we have 0 control over these 2 fees, but we have full control over the nightly rate, which is already fair. Typically, if it's not fair, if it's too high, if it's way too low, Airbnb doesn't really put your place in the first page or even the first few pages. They want to see that it's competitively priced with everyone else. But then the cleaning fee is really important. If I have a cleaning fee that's outrageous, and think about it from a guest perspective, I'm looking at, typically a guest is going to look between 3 to 5 places. And if they see a bunch of places that are, hey, cleaning fee is $100, $100, $90, $110, and then yours comes up and it's $235, they're going to be like, that's an easy, just kicking them out of the top 5. And now they're down to 4 choices. So making sure your cleaning fee is competitive is a real easy way that now they've started the booking process. As soon as they click on your location, they're doing the research. Now they've done their check-in dates, or maybe they're looking to click reserve. They're checking this before anything. So comparing that to Eric's, we're going to see, and this is a 5-bedroom place, 9 beds, pretty similar to ours. He has 1 more half bath and 1 more bedroom. His is $249. Okay, so $15 more for 1 extra bed, 1 extra bedroom, I should say. That makes a lot of difference. That makes a lot of sense. Plus, he's charging a much higher nightly rate than us, almost $50 more. And then comparing that to Doyle, let's see over here, Doyle. Now, Doyle, if you notice, is really booked out far in advance. He's got almost all of October booked. He's got a lot of September booked. Now, I've already done this, but I'm going to show you really quickly. Doyle, buddy, you're missing out big time. You don't even have a cleaning fee, man. You got to get on here. You got to add a cleaning fee. You're losing out on income. This is probably why your place is booked out pretty far in advance and in such high demand, because people are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting away with murder here. He's not even charging us a cleaning fee. Got to throw something in there, man. It's expected. I would absolutely do that. But, I just want to compare one other place here just to see, are we in close competition? So here's another one. I haven't even looked at this one yet. Let's take a look, select a few dates. 2-night minimum, and okay, 170, and this is a 4-bedroom place. So for me, looking at this, I might even say, okay, maybe I need to drop my cleaning fee, maybe a few bucks, but I'm in the neighborhood. The top was 250, the bottom was 170. I'm at 235, maybe 215, maybe 225, but I like to have a little bit of a gap too, because I pay my cleaner $200. And when you're paying your cleaner a little bit less than what you're getting from the guests, it's nice extra income, but it's also a nice way to be able to pay your cleaner more without having to dip into your profits or your pocket. So that would be the next thing, is the cleaning fee. And once you've hit that reserve button to move on to the next one, the final step, number 3 of what makes your place so bookable, is your cancellation policy. So let's talk about the cancellation policy options that you have as a host. The main 3 are flexible, moderate, and strict. They've even added firm, and there's a few other options here, but these are really the 3 that are most commonly talked about. So let's talk about the difference here. Flexible, free cancellation until 24 hours before check-in. After that, if they cancel before check-in, they get a full refund minus the first night and the service fee, which again, the service fee is being charged by Airbnb. Moderate, free cancellation until 5 days before check-in. And then after the 5th day, or if you're canceling within 5 days, they get a 50% refund minus the first night and the service fee. So in other words, if it's $200 a night, they're going to get charged that $200 for the first night. And then they're going to get charged 50% of that afterward, plus the Airbnb service fee. So this is, a nice in between, because the strict is going to be free cancellation for 48 hours, as long as it's after the 14-day window of which they're going to book. So if you're trying to book, let's say September 30th, today is September 1st, then you have 48 hours after September 1st to cancel. But after the 14 days, there's this little window from 7 days to 14 days where they're only going to get a 50% refund. And then after 7 days prior to their booking, they will not get anything. They will not get anything back. Okay. And that includes during the process as well. If they decide to cancel during their stay, they get nothing back. So again, we're looking at Phoenix, Arizona for these 3 listings. And the one that I use is moderate, because of exactly the same reason that we just talked about. And I'll actually show you my listing right now. If we were to go to reserve, so we already picked our dates, right? If we were to go to reserve, you'll see that it actually says right here, and it explains the moderate cancellation policy. It doesn't say moderate, but you can decipher that because it says free cancellation before 4 p.m. on September 17th. That's 5 days before my booking. If you remember, 5 days before, you get a free refund or a non-penalized refund. But after September 17th, I would only get 50% minus the first night and the service fee. So again, moderate. So if I'm thinking to myself right now, today is, we're basically a month away from this trip. I know that, hey, if things change between now and September 17th, I can cancel and get a full refund. That's a really nice luxury for me to have. However, if I cancel after the 17th, I'm going to only lose 50% of my refund. Okay. I can kind of see that, especially let's say COVID's going on, someone gets COVID, what are the chances of it happening within 5 days? Probably not very high. So let's go ahead and book. That's kind of my thought. Now, if it's flexible, then it's even easier because it says 24 hours. But again, because I'm in an area that I don't get a lot of last minute bookings as a host, I chose moderate so I could, make sure that I'm still getting paid a little bit if a moderate cancellation policy is put into place. Now let's go back over to Doyle here and let's see what he has. Doyle has, again, so we're looking at September 8th. In fact, let's actually do a little further out just to make sure that we're giving enough time here. Let's do the 14th to the 17th reserve. And you'll see that Doyle's, as we're trying to book on the 14th, says free cancellation for 48 hours. After that, cancel before 4 p.m. on September 7th. So 7 days out, which means that we're on strict, right? And get a 50% refund minus the service fee. So if I'm after September 7th, I'm not getting any refund versus, and again, that's 7 days before versus mine, which is 5 days before, I can get at least a 50% refund. Okay. So that is going to already hold me back from booking Doyle's because I don't have nearly as much flexibility. And then again, we're going to look at Eric's as well. And Eric has what looks like, as we're trying to do September 12th, and his also looks like a strict because after 3 p.m. on September 5th, get a 50% refund minus the service fee. So both of them are strict, but you know what? If this is working for Eric, by all means, keep doing it, Eric. I particularly like moderate, but I would not, in a place like Phoenix, Arizona, do a flexible cancellation policy. For my business in Fresno, where we get a ton of last minute bookings, we have a 95% occupancy rate. Yeah, I'm going to do flexible because that just makes it easier for people to book. And I'm confident that it'll get rebooked if it gets canceled. Long story short, you got to put yourself in the shoes of these guests. If they are so ready for your place, so excited, but there's all these things up in the air and they're wondering to themselves, man, I only have 48 hours to change my mind. And then even if it's within 7 days before the booking, I'm only getting 50% back versus this other place that, you know, I got at least up until 5 days before the trip to get a full refund. Who do you think they're going to pick? So this is a really big deterrent that I think a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot with. Because most people, at the end of the day, most guests are not going to cancel. So why give them a reason to even question your place? And number 4, that's right. There's a bonus. Reply to your reviews. And I found one host that's doing a really good job of this, Avant Stay in Scottsdale. If we click on their profile, we'll actually see a lot of great things about them already. 100% response rate, responds within an hour. Really cool. But we're going to go down to the reviews on this page. And when we show all reviews, see what happens. Response from Avant Stay in Scottsdale, they're responding to a good majority of their guests. And this shows me that they are doing some really great things to make sure that even after the guest is checked out. And for me, if I'm looking into a place and I'm looking at reviews and I see the host actually responding to reviews, that shows me they're responsible. They care about their guests even after they've checked out. I'm probably, that's going to be like the bow on top of the present. I'm going to just go ahead and go for it and book these guys. Now, here's the thing. I just showed you 4 ways to be more bookable. I've counted at least 25 ways to be more bookable. And if you want to learn the additional 21 ways to do that, you're going to definitely want to check out our course that's on my website, fearlesskyle.com. Here is my site. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure that you download our free Airbnb profit calculator. It's emailed right to you. You can start using it and seeing if you have an Airbnb deal or an Airbnb dud. Great resource. It's absolutely free. If you go to the Airbnb tab here, you'll see there's the Kickstart course, and then there's the Kickstart operator course. Now, if you already have 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe even an entire portfolio of Airbnbs and you just want to learn how to manage them better, how to make a better profit, this is probably going to be the course for you. It's only $397. You get a free 30-day trial to our Airbnb mastermind group, which is on Facebook, and we meet once a week. Great way to be able to accelerate your business. And it's showing you how to make more money and spend less time on your listings on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you're someone who's just getting started, or you're super intrigued by the co-hosting or the arbitrage model, then the Airbnb Kickstart course is going to be the best place for you. There's a free video here that you can watch to learn more about it. And it's literally showing you how to master, automate, and scale your business. My students get great results on this, and we're really all part of a family. We meet once a week on Zoom and love lifting each other up. Again, if you just want to go check that out, fearlesskyle.com, and there's tons of great resources on there. But even if you don't, if you want to go the free route, that's totally okay. Just make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can keep on learning for absolutely free and elevate your business and go out and conquer the world of Airbnb. Thanks so much for checking this out. This has been the 3 plus a bonus way of how to be more bookable on Airbnb.